Hey guys, The Rock here. A couple of days ago, I saw a question on Reddit about what to purchase on pistol rounds. And I wanted to go over that in this video and talk about what you should buy on pistol rounds, why you should buy it, and how to utilize what you buy to win the round. So I'm going to break this video down into T side and CT side, starting with the T side. T side, the general rule of thumb is to only purchase utility that's going to help you execute and take a bomb site. But you don't really want to be purchasing utility that's going to help you prevent the retake attempt, because it's far better in most cases to have armor for the retake than to have extra utility. Unless, of course, the exception being a Molotov to put on the bomb if you're the last one remaining. So here we see that the terrorists have decided to purchase all armor, and they're going to be running through B apps and trying to overwhelm these two CT players before the rotates come in. This is a perfectly acceptable strategy, and this is the way that most B sites are taken on Counter-Strike maps. Is B site is the rush map, and A site is the slow smoke flash molly execute site. The only thing that you could change with this strategy is to have a player possibly purchasing a smoke grenade to throw at the end of this balcony area, or throwing it here to block off the bench angle. You could also purchase a flashbang to bank out this window and try and flash this cat player and possibly flash someone that's over here. But otherwise, it's perfectly acceptable to just all buy armor and rush out B apps and try and overwhelm these players. Now, A site is a whole different animal. If you want to take A site on a pistol round as terrorist, then you really need some utility. If you come out of this A ramp and out of Palace with Glocks and armor, then you're taking these long-range engagements from jungle and CT, where the USPs and the P2000s are going to be much more effective than those Glocks. So instead, you're going to be wanting at least 2 smokes to take this site, to smoke off jungle and to smoke off CT, so that you isolate the players that remain on site, and you can overwhelm these players and kill them before their rotates come in. So you're going to have 15 seconds once these smokes pop to kill the players on site, to plant the bomb, and to get good post-plant. So again, the general rule for the terrorist side is to purchase just enough utility to execute onto that site, get the bomb plant, and then get good post-plant, and not purchasing extra utility that you're probably not going to use. On CT side, however, it's a lot different than how most people play it. I don't think you should ever upgrade your pistol on CT pistol round, because the USP in the P2000 is very good. It's a one-shot headshot, where the Glock is actually not. A Glock shooting you from A ramp to CT is actually not going to kill you if they get a headshot. But the P2000 or the USP definitely will, and it's incredibly more accurate. The USP and the P2000 are very good weapons. So instead of doing that, you can purchase utility. The way I like to set up CT side pistol rounds is doing a 2-1-2 split. So you're going to have 2 players on each site and 1 person holding mid. And on each site, you're going to have 1 person to purchase utility and 1 person to purchase armor. So you can see this player has armor, I have utility. On A site, they did not do this, but this is a pug, so coordinating your buys is a little bit more difficult. So as you can see, I bought 2 flashbangs and an HE. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump spot here from Van and watch for a push, and as soon as I see it, I'm going to let my HE go and try and do as much damage as I can to those rushing terrorists. It's also going to slow them down. After I throw that HE, I'm going to fall back in the site, and I'm going to start banking these 2 flashbangs off this wall and trying to flash the oncoming terrorists to prevent that or actually to delay that push as long as I can in order to get those rotates from A site to make it to site before the terrorist can actually execute. So your job as a CT player is to delay a push. It's not to frag out. If you frag out by them rushing through your utility, then that's fine because you've probably done a lot of damage and you're killing blinded players. So you leave the decision up to the terrorists, what they want to do. They can either play it smart, let you use your utility, and then rush the site, hoping that the rotates didn't come in, or they can change their plans and then go to the other site. So on A site, you generally want to buy a molly and a flashbang and play a little bit closer. So play default or play under construction. You want to molly off this area whenever you hear a push coming in, and then you want to flash out. So you're just delaying this push. The molly's going to last for 8 seconds, and then this flashbang blinding them is going to separate the terrorists from one another. Because some of them are going to get flashed, some of them are not. So you're kind of spreading that rush then. And the goal again is to pull these rotates in to help out with the push and just make it a very hard fight for the terrorist. So I'm going to let this video play out, and I'm going to show you how I utilized my utility to help delay this push and to do as much damage as I could while I'm waiting for these rotates to come in. Okay, so you can see how I utilized the HE to do a good bit of damage. In fact, you can see that I did 175 total damage with grenades. And I also used the flashbangs to delay that push. And so now I'm going to replay the demo from that position again and show how the rotates come in as I'm calling for the rotates and when I'm calling for the rotates. You can tell that on the map. So I'm jump spotting, I see him, I call for the rotates. You can see that immediately this player is coming in. I flash, that delays them a little bit. I flash again, that also delays them. And now I have 2 players that are already in market. Now these 2 players are on B site. We have 4 players on B site, now it's a 4v2. Very easy. As you can see, we actually didn't lose anyone on this pistol round, and that was mainly due to using utility to your advantage. If it had been an A site execute, I would have expected the A site player that has utility to delay this ramp push as long as he can, and for the B site players to rotate before the terrorist executed on your site. So one last thing I wanted to show is a cobble execute. This time I'm playing on T side. And you can see that we've all purchased armor because our plan is to execute on B site. We're going to send 3 people through drop. And then we're going to send 2 people, one with the bomb through long. And you can see how we divided the attention of the CT players by putting 2 or 3 people into drop and 2 people out long, so they had to look at multiple different directions at the same time. And it was a fairly easy pistol round to coordinate in a puck. You know, you want some simple pistol rounds in pucks, you know, so just say, let's send 3 people through drop and 2 people out long. You're all going to get there around the same time, so the coordination is really easy. It happens all at the same time, and you can overwhelm those CT players. And by sending 3 people through drop, you are preventing some of the rotates from coming in through connector because they're worried about this window that terrorists are going to be here. They could be really up close in his sight already at that door. So it makes it a very difficult retake for them. We kind of messed up in a couple of places where we were, I think, at a 4v2 at one point. And somehow it became a 2v1. But either way, we won the round, and it was a very simple execute. Didn't need any utility. But to recap on what I've gone over thus far, on terrorist side, you want to purchase just enough utility to execute on your site and nothing more. The rest of your players should be purchasing armor. On CT side, you want to be purchasing utility to delay the pushes and to do as much damage as you can before the terrorists come on your site so that you can pull those rotates in before they swarm on your site. Because if you let them take this site and set up good post plant before your rotates come in, then you've basically screwed over your teammates and prevented them from retaking the site. And you have almost no chance to win. You know, it's even a 2v2 in a situation like that, where the terrorists already have good post plant and you have 2 CTs coming in, it's still not a fair fight. Yeah, the terrorists have the advantage. I hope this video helps and it answers any kind of questions that you might have about pistol rounds. If you have any more questions, just put them in the comments below and I'll get to them. And have a good one, guys.